everybody, Alisa here with another episode of Alisa GTV. I'm gonna try to make an effort to get more content up here, and so this is the first the first one of those videos. Part of the problem is it's so hot and I spend a lot of time sitting in my car, and I tend to do my videos. I have been tending to do videos in my car, and I just thought, I don't know if I always want to be sitting in my car to do a video. Anyway, so today I was in my car and I almost did make a video, and then I thought, no, I'm just gonna wait. And so here I am back in my apartment. I'm in New York City, for those who don't know me from my other channel, which is Vera Bradley Bag of the Day. I decided I would give it a shot, get my fan set up so that I'm not melting here. It's still super hot in New York City. And since my bag wasn't Vera today, I thought, well, this is a perfect opportunity. And so I do have a shit ton of bags that are not Vera that I could absolutely be talking about here, plus other things. I wanted this channel so that I didn't just have to talk about bags, because people had said they actually, amazingly enough, like listening to me ramble. And would I also ramble about other things? And so that's what this channel is going to be. It's not always going to be about bags, hopefully. Anyway, so today, just to sit in my car, I'm just sitting in my car for an hour and a half so that I don't get a ticket. I just tend to, usually I have at least 2 big bags with me, because I bring a lot of stuff to distract myself, because I'm never sure what exactly I'm going to distract myself with. So I bring knitting in one bag, and then I bring my iPad in another bag, and lots of other stuff, sometimes a book or whatever, and half the time I just end up playing a jigsaw puzzle on my iPad. I don't know if people know about this website. Off the top of my head, I don't even know if I remember what it's called. I want to say Jigsaw Planet. I'm not sure, but anyway, you can just do jigsaw puzzles online, and I am obsessed. It's actually cutting into my sleep a little bit, which is kind of bad. Sometimes I'll do it at night and it makes my eyes tired, which is great, and then I put the iPad down and I fall asleep. But other times it sort of keeps me up, I think, because I'm so into it, and I listen to my podcast while I'm doing the jigsaw puzzle. It's a whole thing to try to get myself to sleep. Anyway, for podcasts right now, that's what I should do. I should just give my little updates on what I'm listening to, in case people are interested in finding, new things to listen to. But right now I'm sort of binge listening to the podcast A Little Bit Culty. I don't know if people are familiar with controversy a few years back surrounding the Nexium cult. That the cult leader is now in jail for life. I think he got sentenced to over 100 years in jail. It's an amazing feat of all these, a handful of former cult members who broke away and spoke out about what he was doing. And then the authorities took notice and started to investigate. Anyway, so 2 of those former members are a married couple, and they have this podcast, A Little Bit Culty, where they talk about not just their experience and what they've learned, and red flags and high control groups, and any kind of it doesn't have to be a cult. It can be a high control environment, even just like a cult of one, just one person controlling another person harmfully. And so they speak to a whole range of people, and it's very educational and it's very interesting. And you hear about this whole segment of society of these cult followers and leaders and and also religious sects that break off from more standard religions and become very fundamentalist, very like conservative, very controlling, very abusive, very right wing-ish, you know. And so it's very educational, I mean, because it teaches you in a way, just from listening and absorbing all this, you sort of can take away lessons on how to avoid being taken advantage of by just people in your everyday life, you know, and how to recognize and respect your own boundaries and things like that. So it's very interesting, and they're a great sort of tag team. They work well together. I mean, they have a rapport, they're married, and so it's been enjoyable. And so I listen to that while I'm doing my jigsaw puzzles, and so sometimes it's not it's an episode I'm not quite so interested in, but I have it on for the, you know, the noise of it. And other times it's something I am like, I sort of, my ears perk up and I get more into it, and then it keeps me up. It's like, so kind of defeats the purpose. But anyway, I highly recommend it. And then they, you know, they speak to a lot of highly educated experts in various fields, and then that leads you to other podcasts or other books that are, you know, of interest. So it's very, it's educational. It's like, you know, being in a college lecture or something. So anywho, that was all that to say that sometimes I bring all this stuff down to the car and I just end up doing puzzles on my iPad. And so I have all these bags of crap for nothing. Anyway, so today I just plunked everything into a Coach City Tote, which is, for people who aren't familiar with the City Tote, it's a coated canvas material. And this one, now this is an open top tote, no closure. I mean, sometimes they have a magnetic snap closure on a tab in these totes, but this one doesn't even have that. So it's not, it doesn't give you a lot of security, and so I do have, for times when I feel like I want to use one but I need a little bit more security, I will plop in sort of a liner bag that has a zipper on top, and I'll just plonk everything into that, and then that's something I can just lift, you know, put in and lift out easily. But because I was just going down from my building to my car, I knew I didn't need that, so I just plunked everything in here, and you know, I don't worry about anyone getting into it because it's just me. And this, I do like these totes. I have a few of these totes, but again, the fact that there's no zipper on top kind of reins me in a little bit. It kind of curbs my instinct to just consume, you know, buy stuff. I really have to stop buying stuff because I'm running out of money. But this one, I did not get this, I got this on a resale site. I did not get this direct from Coach. This was before I haven't really been, I mean, when I was in college, I had a two Coach bags, one of which I still have. It was like that big feed bag. And then I sort of lost interest with the brand. I sort of stopped paying attention to it. And it's only recently, within the past, I would say like maybe 2 or 3 years, that I've gone back to it and looked at it a little bit with a little bit more interest. And I do like a lot of the collabs that they do. And this was one of them. And I had not been paying attention to the brand when this collab actually happened. So I stumbled upon this when I was looking at eBay late one night, probably. And I was like, oh, what's that? And that's how I became aware of this collab, which was Coach collaboration with the artist Gary Baseman, who I don't know a lot about him, but I do think he's based out of LA. At least he used to be. I don't know if he still is. And he is the artist who coined the term, I think it was pervasive art, which I like. I think his intention was sort of to create that term sort of in opposition or as an alternative term to like lowbrow art, you know, sort of to fight the idea of lowbrow art, of that term. So the idea that art should be pervasive, art should be everywhere, it should be in all mediums, it should be in all venues, it shouldn't just be in a museum or on a gallery wall, it shouldn't just be, you know, paintings, traditional paintings or sculpture. It should be on t-shirts, it should be on bags, it should be in the media, it should be, you know, in animation, it should be everywhere, it should be pervasive. And so I do like that, especially because I won't go off on this tangent now, but I get very annoyed when I see places like the Metropolitan Museum of Art and other museums with such high entrance fees. And I know a lot of the time they are suggested entrance fees, but their signage is very subtle. They don't really advertise that it is give what you want. Or sometimes maybe they'll have one day a week where it's give what you want, or one day a week where it's free to go in a museum. And it just becomes very exclusive because these entrance fees are so high. And that shouldn't, you know, art should be accessible to everyone. It's so important. It shouldn't be hard for people with less money to get into a museum. Anyway, so that's Gary Baseman. These are his characters. They have names. I think a lot, I don't know, I feel like a lot of his work, and perhaps this, I don't know if this falls into that category, but deals with like love and loss of love and looking for love, I think. Not all of it, but I think that was one of his themes with some of his characters. I don't know if these fall into it. These characters do have names, and I don't remember the names of all of them, except the blindfolded bunny, which I love. It's my favorite one, and I think that's Emmanuel. Now, I don't know the symbolism here of any of this stuff. I just like the aesthetic of it, and I love the, like, what look like drips of paint, you know, splotches of paint sort of dripping. And of course it's over the Coach, you know, double C logo. It does look like a double C unit, but I mean, I know Coach is just the one C, but the way they orient the C's kind of makes it look like a double sometimes. Anyway, so it's got that raised logo on the front there, and it's got this hang tag. I think, yeah, it says Coach and Baseman. Yeah, I have mixed feelings about the hang tags. Sometimes I like them, sometimes they kind of annoy me, and I just kind of, you know, move them out of the way. The straps, I assume these are real leather. I don't really know, but they almost have sort of a stiff, pleathery feel, but I'm guessing they're real. But anyway, it does, you know, there's a lot of, I have a water bottle in here that's got a lot of water in it, so it's got some weight to it. And so I feel like the bag holds up. You know, it's a good size and a good, you know, width, thickness this way, which I like. And the pattern is all over. Now, I think technically this bag is supposed to be reversible because that logo is also, it's a raised logo that's put on the bag, and it's on the inside too. The inside is all black. Let's see if I can hold it up in a way that it shows. But I do think you could, see it's there. I do think you could probably flip this bag inside out. I don't know why anyone would ever do that. I mean, you might as well just buy a black bag then. I'm sure they make this in black. Anyway, so in here, I have, this is the water bottle. This is a Serengeti brand. I love this thing. And it has a Cavalier King Charles Spaniel on it. This is the first time I ever have bought any kind of pet stuff, dog stuff with a purebred dog on it because of my dog. Usually I have mutts. All my other dogs are mutts. Anyway, so yes, this is great. I like this better than the Stanley cups because I like the top on this. It has the, you know, you can pop it up and you can just drink from it, you know, regularly. But then there's this straw that pops up. Now, most of the big Stanleys that are this kind of shape and size with the handle and everything, they have the straw, but it's a straw that just comes out. It doesn't fold down. And I have a tendency to knock these things over, whether they're in my bag or my car or by my bed or whatever. I am very frequently knocking these things over. And so I wanted one with one of these that goes down. So I have a couple of Stanleys that are a little bit smaller than this, and they don't have a handle on the side. They have like a little top handle, and they have a straw like this that you can lock. And those are great, but for this size, this was the only one I you know, could find that I liked with that kind of a locking, like folding straw. And I have knocked this over and it doesn't leak. It only leaked one time when I happened to knock it over so badly that this thing popped up. So, that's how badly I knock these things over. So there's that. This was probably adding a little weight to batteries because I was in my car, and I have some, I'm sure I talked about this in one of my other videos. I have these rat repeller boxes in my car that emit this like ultrasonic thing that only like rats and maybe dogs and mice and stuff can hear the sound, and is supposed to keep them away, and it seems to be working. Anyway, but it you know, it needs batteries, and so every now and then I just always bring the batteries with me when I go to the car in case one of them is, you know, running out of batteries, and it starts like emitting this high-pitched like alarm, and it's annoying. This is a Vera Bradley pouch. I don't remember what it's called, a wristlet pouch of some kind. I don't have the tag on it anymore. And this was pattern exclusive, I think, to Urban Outfitters recently, which it has bunnies on it. And I, you know, so the bunnies appealed to me. I will probably never order from Urban Outfitters ever again because of my experience ordering this and a couple of other things where they messed up my order. And I had also ordered from them in this pattern the bag charm. They had a bunny bag charm in this pattern, and I wanted that thing so badly, and I ordered it, and I must have ordered like the last one, and it didn't get sent to me. It got sent, I don't know who it got sent to. I got some other woman's random crap, and my bunny probably got sent to her, or I don't know who got my bunny. And their customer service was so appalling that I probably will never, and I used to buy a lot of clothing from Urban Outfitters in my youth. And I will probably never give them any money ever again because I was so annoyed with their customer service. And so I missed out on the bunny, and I look for it every now and then on eBay, see if anyone's selling one, but it never comes up. So anyway, but I do like this pattern. The bunnies are a little hard to read. You know, they could be rendered a little bit clearer, but I still think they're cute. And this pattern kind of spoke to me because of this stripe background. This stripe background, I don't know if any people who are watching or who know me maybe from my other channel, or maybe are watching me here because of that, but if there are any native New Yorkers or long time, I'm talking decades, long time New York residents watching, they may remember this store. It was down in the West Village on, I want to say McDougal Street. It was McDougal Street. And it was called, I think it was called Reminiscence. And they had, this would have been in like the mid 80s. Or early and mid 80s. They used to sell these tapered jeans that at the ankle they had like zippers that were maybe that long, because they were so tapered you had to unzip the ankles to get your feet through. And they were in various colors of a striped pattern just like this, a very thin striped pattern of like a darker color and the lighter version of that same color. And we all had these jeans from Reminiscence like that, with this very delicate stripe on them. So I don't know, they were all the rage, we all had them. I don't know if anyone will know what I'm talking about, but it really brought that memory back to me when I saw that background pattern. So I was like, oh, I gotta get a little something in that. So in here, I just have lip gloss. This is Rinna Beauty lip gloss. Am I holding that up? There we go. I don't know if you can see the branding there. I love Lisa Rinna. I mean, I don't know what she used to have a Rinna Beauty website, and I don't think she sells products on there anymore. I don't know if it's not going well for her. She doesn't want to be bothered with it, but I think you can still get some of her products anyway. I don't know if you can get this, or all of them, but you can get some of them still on Amazon. But I was really bummed because I had been ordering from her website. I have some of her mascara. I have a couple of her like thick sticks, I think is what they're called, for lips. I mean, I know her lips are crazy. I know people. But I love her personality. I love her little dancing videos that she does on Instagram and TikTok. And I just think she's got a great sense of humor. So I just like her. And I do like her beauty products. I like her mascara. I like this. I don't know the color. Won't be able to read this. Yeah, I will not be able to read this, even with my glasses. But this is some kind of lip plumping thing. I didn't buy it for the lip plumping properties. I just like the color. It's a very sheer, like plum glaze kind of colors. It's very nice. Also, Black Honey. This Clinique. This is like the OG kind of dark glaze, you know, lipstick, lip gloss. So I noticed that Givenchy now has their pink black or black rose or whatever they're calling it, lip balms and lip glosses. This I feel like Clinique is the OG with that. I mean, this has been around for decades. And mascara. This was I wasn't sure if I would have time. I always sort of throw something like this in my bag because I'm thinking, oh well, if I'm sitting in my car I might do a video, but I don't always have time to put any kind of makeup on before I get to my car. It's always like a race to get to my car in time before the traffic cop comes by. Anyway, but I had time today, but I don't wear a lot of makeup anyway, but just a little mascara sort of opens up my eyes a little bit. But anyway, this is, brand is this Kush. I don't know if the brand, Milk. The brand is Milk. I don't know if it'll, and it's their Kush mascara. This is good mascara. I really like this brand. I got it at Sephora. I don't know where else you can get it. Anyway, good mascara for me, anyway. My readers, in a Vera Bradley reader's case. Garden Grove, I think was the name of this pattern. I love the blue roses in this pattern, so I was very pleased with this. All about the blue roses in that pattern. This is also Vera Bradley. This is a Carson cell phone crossbody that usually comes with a strap, but I always take the strap off because I just use it in a bag to protect my phone. I never actually wear these crossbody. I think this was Sea Life, maybe? The octopus. And Coach wallet. I'm not gonna remember what this is. I don't know what they call this, if they call this some kind of accordion or zip around wallet. I don't know, but it has a zipper that goes around. And let me take that out. I don't think you can see anything. I don't think I'm giving away any details. But it's, you know, it's an accordion kind of configuration with a zipper pocket here and divisions and, you know, places for bills and cards and things like that. But why I bought it, and it's a nice white pebble leather, kind of a chalk color. I don't know. They tend to call their white things chalk a lot of the time as the color. I don't remember what this was called, but as soon as I saw this, it's like their boardwalk like collection or something. I don't know. It was in their like online outlet site, their Coach outlet site for a minute. And I was lucky enough to get this one before it sold out. There were a couple of things with these kind of motifs of like these retro kind of Sunday look illustrations, and they sold out super fast. And so I felt lucky to get this one. As soon as I saw it, I was like, I can't hesitate. And the great thing about ordering from Coach, I feel like, is that whatever price point you're ordering, they'll give you free shipping. So you don't have to meet some threshold to get free shipping. And that's smart because I think it makes you want to, it frees you up in your mind to order more. Like it's more conducive to ordering more because you're not thinking about the shipping. Or I'm not sure if I want that. Well, I do want that, so I'll order that, and I know I get free shipping, and then maybe I'll come back and order that later. And I think that people do that more. You know, if you don't have to be sort of thinking about and calculating about how do I get free shipping, and do I really want that or whatever, it frees you up, and you kind of make impulse buys more readily. But anyway, I really like this, and it feels good. The leather feels good in your hand. It's a nice texture. And then this was for my iPad, which is I'm filming with, so it's not in here. This is empty now, but this is a Vera Bradley tablet tamer. So it's got some stiffness to it. I like that. I feel like it really protects the iPad. I think this was Magnifique Floral. And I think it's very pretty. Of course, what was driving me was the peacock in the pattern. I did order this from the ladies in the Christiana Mall store. This was, I told her I wanted peacocks, and this was the best she could do. I mean, I'm happy with it. It's not centered, but I'm happy with it. I mean, I feel like it might be a little cut off. Yeah, the tail's cut off. And the front and the back are almost exactly the same, which is unusual. Again, a zip, another Vera thing, and it's a zip, I want to say zip coin purse or card purse, or I don't know, coin purse, I don't know. But it's their recent Peanuts release, so I think this was called Peanuts Pals, maybe? Not sure. Does it have a tag? Did I keep the tag? I did not keep the tag. And I just have lip balm in here because I don't like to throw, there's no pockets in this bag, but also sometimes I just don't, even if I have pockets, I don't want to throw lip balm or something loose, you know, where a cap might come off. But this is very cute. I like the way this is overlap of all the characters together. You even have Woodstock in there. I feel like with the little splashes of color, I would have thought maybe they would put Woodstock in color, but they didn't, you know, he's up there dropping out white on this background. What I do like about this is the use of the sort of lavender kind of background with the green line work. Instead of having the line work be black, I think the green and the purple have a nice relationship. I don't know if they are, I'd have to look at a color wheel off the top of my head. I don't know that they're complements, but I think there's a relationship there. I think yellow and purple are complements. But I think there is some kind of relationship between the green and the purple, and that's why I'm liking it. I would have to look at a color wheel. But I do like it, and I think that the green line works kind of softens it, rather than having it be black line work. That's cute. And the last thing in here, which is empty now, but, oh no, it's not empty now. Oh, good thing. There's my car key in here. But I had this in here just because, again, there was no pocket, and I didn't want to just drop either my car keys or my house keys into the bottom of this. I just wanted them in something so I would know whereabouts, you know, they were in the bag. And this is a little sport sack. I don't know what this kind of pouch is called. One of their various like cosmetic pouches. But the pattern is Pets Rock. I got this on eBay. This is a hard pattern to find. It's a rare pattern and it's great. And I do have a couple of things. I have a bag and a couple of pouches, and I have a knapsack somewhere. I think it might be in my storage unit. But when I found the shoulder bag, I was just over the moon happy. So it's all these, you know, various cats and dogs dressed up as, you know, pop culture figures. There's one is dressed up as Elvis. One looks like Michael Jackson. This is, I think, supposed to be Katy Perry. One of them looks like, you know, as Audrey Hepburn, Breakfast at Tiffany's with pearls, I think. I'm not sure who this is supposed to be. If anyone knows, let me know. You know, one of them is dressed up to look like Karl Lagerfeld with the sunglasses. Another one is dressed, kind of looks a little bit like Coco Chanel. You know, they're very playful that way. Great pattern. Very hard to find. And when you do find it, a lot of the times it's very expensive on retail sites. Every now and then it won't be so expensive. I almost feel like people maybe don't know what they have when that happens. And that it's just, you know, you have to jump on it. You know, you just kind of luck out. I lucked out with my backpack. I think the woman was selling it for like $45. I don't think she realized what she had. Anyway, so very lightweight on its own, and you know, very practical. You know, I don't worry about it. I mean, I wouldn't beat it to death because I think the pattern is special, but I don't worry about it getting. I think it will wear well, but I have so many bags that they're all getting. None of them are getting worked to death. Let's just say, because there are so many of them. Anyway, I mean, I probably could use a different bag every day of the year and not repeat. That's how many bags I have, as you can see. And my room looks like this because for people who don't know me from my other channel, I have recently moved back I grew up in New York City. I'm a native New Yorker and my parents were native New Yorkers. But I came back, I was living in Pennsylvania for a while, and I came back to live with my dad and take care of him. He had some, initially that wasn't why I came back, but shortly after I came back, he had some serious health problems, and so I just have stayed here to take care of him. Now I'm just staying here like for the duration to take care of him. So I'm back and living with all of my stuff in one room. That's why that looks like that back there. So I'm sorry about all the clutter. Anyway, I hope people found the ramblings enjoyable and a good distraction. I know people in some of the Facebook groups that I'm in were saying they were missing some, you know, they wanted new video content, and they were missing the ladies who like to do new videos in our circle of people, of bag lady friends, Facebook friends. So anyway, this is for them. And I did load up a new thing on Vera Bradley Bag of the Day as well. And so hopefully that'll help the withdrawal. Anyway, thanks so much for watching, and hopefully see you next time on Alisa GTV.